This video is going to cover how we can verify that a function is a valid probability density function. So let's say we have the function that 2e to the negative 2x, right, is going to be happening when x is greater than or equal to 0, and it's going to be 0 when x is less than 0. Okay, so what are the rules that we can use to identify a valid probability density function? I've basically written it short as PDF. So that's what PDF means, in case anybody was doubting. So the first rule is a PDF must be non-negative for all values of x, right? And if we look at the graph of 2e to the negative 2x, we can see this happening, right? I'll put the graph up right now. You can probably see the graph. And you can see that there are no negative values in this case, right? So our first rule makes sense. So we can put a tick mark beside it. So there we go. Now let's move on to our second rule. So the second rule states that if we integrate from negative infinity to infinity on our function, we're going to get 1. So let's do that. Let's integrate from negative infinity to infinity for my function, which is 2e to the negative 2x dx. Now when I write this out, I'm going to notice something. My function does not start from any negative value, right? So this negative infinity doesn't really even make sense, right? What it actually starts at is it starts from 0, right? So instead of negative infinity, we're going to rewrite this like this. It's going to be the integral from 0 to infinity for 2e to the negative 2x dx. Now we're going to integrate this as usual. And so when we integrate it, we're going to get negative e to the negative 2x, right? And we're going to be taking the bounds from 0 to infinity. Now, negative e, a good way to imagine this, right? If I take my calculator and I put in negative e, right? And it's going to be the power of negative 2, and you put a fairly large number. You can see where it's approaching, right? It gives me 0, right? So 0 minus, and let's say I put in 0 for my next value, negative e to the power of negative 2 times 0. We're going to get negative 1. So what is 0 minus negative 1? We're going to get, it's going to become plus, so we're going to get 1. All right? So therefore, we have verified that this is actually a valid probability density function because both of these rules apply to this function. Because remember, a PDF must be non-negative for all values of x, and when we integrate it from negative infinity to infinity, we are going to get 1. So that's it for this video. Hope it helped. Have a good day, guys.